Up, everybody? This is the best damn comic show on the internet. We're the Comic World for you, where every week we talk about comics. What comics? The comics that came out this week. What is today? It is February. Bring up the date, 23rd, which means we're talking about the comics that came out on February 20th. And a couple of those comics were, what? Avengers, we got Batman books, we got Shuri books.
Got X-Men books.
We got X-Men books. We got it all for you. So if you're watching this on YouTube later on Long Story Short Show, I will put a timestamp where every book starts. So if you did miss your favorite book, you don't have to listen to the whole thing. You can just jump around to what you want. All right, that being said, let's get started. Who wants to go? Wait,
you go first.
I got 4 books. They got 3 books, so I'm going to go first. First one I got is Venom, number 11, by Ryan Stegman and Donny Cates. And if you haven't been reading Venom, you should have been reading Venom a long time ago. So let me tell you what's happening right now. Eddie Brock's stepbrother is waiting in the hospital because he's like, well, shit, what do I do? Eddie's in the hospital right now because, like, you know, like the thinker, not the thinker,
That's
Reed
the
Richards.
Evil Reed Richards.
Yeah,
right?
Reed Richards from the alternate future or alternate world, the evil one. He's got Eddie. He wants to experiment on the symbiote. Like, Eddie's little, like, stepbrother is, like, sitting there like, hey, what's happening to my brother? And he's like, well, your brother's got cancer. Also, the symbiote covered him, and it's, like, in a stasis because, like, the symbiote's protecting him since he has cancer. So the symbiote made a cocoon around him. So Eddie's just, like, laying in a cocoon right now, or else he'll die from cancer. What's happening with Eddie on the inside of that cocoon? Well, he's talking to the symbiote, and he's basically like, dude, what the fuck's happening right now? Like, you keep on, like, blacking out my memory and everything. Like, I'm missing pieces of my history, and I keep on finding out that these people didn't exist. Like, my sister who died from cancer didn't exist. Like, my mom, or my uncle that died from cancer didn't exist.
It's like every single time someone feels like they're in a mainframe and they're like, what is going on right now?
Yeah. It even goes
it always seems like some Matrix shit.
Yep.
Yes.
It even goes a little bit further. He's like, do I even have cancer? And the symbiote's like, nah, you don't even have cancer.
What?
He's like, I know what's been killing me. You've been killing me this whole time. What the hell? Answer my question. He's like, Eddie, you don't understand. Like, when I first got here, when I first met you, like, I was mad. I was lost. I didn't know what to do. Like, we needed each other. And he's like, dude, you've been killing me this whole time? What the fuck? Like, what else are you hiding from me? Like, nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. Oh, shit. And so, like the reader, Evil Reed Richards, he's experimenting on, like, the cocoon, like, blasting it with, like, these gauntlets of energy and stuff, trying to get Eddie out.
Time out.
What?
I just caught that. The reader, Reed Richards.
Yeah. Okay,
I
but
just caught
he's,
that.
like, blasting the shit with energy. And, like, Eddie's, like, stepbrother's sitting there, like, hey, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. He's like, look, kid, this is the only way I could get the symbiote. Like, I wish I didn't have to. Not really, but, I mean, you gotta get out of here. That's an operating room. And then, like the kid, like, leaves.
You need
and
to be
shit.
sterile.
Yeah. And, like, he kind of separates Eddie from, like, the symbiote.
Whoa.
And Eddie's like, whoa, where's the boy? Where's that boy? Where is he? And he's like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, he's in the other room. Why are you worried about your brother? He's like, that's not my brother. That's my boy. That's his motherfucking son. And the symbiote made him forget that that was his son. And then that's why his dad doesn't like him. It's because,
Whoa.
yeah. It's
Whoa.
because his dad's been taking care of Eddie's, like, bastard son for the longest time. Yeah. And then the comic ends. So that was Venom number 11.
Oh my god. That's why his dad hates him. Not because he killed some kid when he crashed that car.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, and, like...
Hey, we got money. We got long money.
Because remember when he went to go see his dad at first, and he's like, what happened to my sister? He's like, your sister? What the fuck are you talking about? You don't have a sister? He was like, how could you say that? Yeah, this dude was just talking crazy. Pretty intense.
That is insane.
Yeah, pretty intense.
So, final thoughts?
Venom number 11 is pretty good. Donny Cates' Venom, even better. Read all of it. Read all of it. This arc started, I think, at number 9. I can't say it enough. Whatever this guy writes, you gotta buy it. That being said, I don't buy his Guardians of the Galaxy right now. So, I gotta jump on that. But the next one we have is, what'd you want?
No, Chris is next.
Oh, All right. Okay, so number 2.
Yeah, I got Teen Titans 27, and it's by Glass. That's the writer. We got Chang, the illustrator. We got Smith, the penciler, and I think Yallo is the one who does like the coloring and all that shit. But it's pretty much like a comic that's everything's broken up into twos and shit. But like I told you guys, I got a bone to pick with Chang, because Chang is drawing these people as if they're like runway models and shit, and it kind of detracts from everything. Like, he's beautifying shit. Like, it's a noticeable thing, especially with Robin and Jen. And it's like, Robin's supposed to be injured and fucked up, and Jen's supposed to be on some, like, I don't know, like, I have secrets and guilt type of shit, but they drawn in the most beautiful way in a dark room.
What's her power? Who is this?
Jen is like some 4,000-year-old creature that has magic abilities, more or less. So she can like kind of like teleport, or at least she can like wield magic powers, or at least that's what it's shown.
Yeah.
So she's like ancient. She's like 4,000 years old. Anyway, it's a 2-man group throughout the whole like Titans thing. So it starts with Robin and Jen. Robin's in his bedroom and he's all fucked up and injured, and Jen's trying to connect to him and everything. Like, hey, let me in. I have darkness and foul shit in my past too. Whatever. Anyway, you go to the next twosome, which is fucking twosome. We'll say duo. The next duo, which is Red Arrow and fucking Crush. And Red Arrow and Crush, they got anger issues. Red Arrow deals with it. She deals with it by hanging around pigeon coops.
Yeah.
Crush deals with it by hunting her father, who she's gonna kill. And we learn who her father is a little later, but you should already see it by her skin color.
It's that one. They're all in a group. It's like a group of 6 people. Like one's taller than the other.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. So Robin and Jen are dealing with secrets and guilt. Red Arrow and Crush are dealing with anger. Kid Flash and Roundhouse are eating.
Roundhouse.
At Roundhouse's mom's, at Mama Woo's. So.
What's his name? Roundhouse.
He's a fat blue dude.
So he has to. Never mind.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Like, he got, I guess his like sister or something died or whatever, and he like gets the powers or got powers as she died, so he's kind of like feeling some kind of way, and he's just fat because his mom cooks hella. So they had a thing. Come to find out, Crush's father is fucking Lobo.
Wait.
So that's cool.
The cool Lobo?
Yeah.
The coolest Lobo of
The main man. The main man from Superman with the fucking bike and shit that runs up and like whoops ass and shit. Yeah, that's her dad. So at least that's what it looks like.
Cool.
Nice. All right, then what?
The comic pretty much ends with like Robin and Jen again. They're having a heart-to-heart. Like somehow, like she gives him his whole backstory about how she's 4,000 years old, forced to do things that she didn't want to do. Woe is me, this, that, and the third. And Robin's like, hey, I too have done things I didn't want to do, and I was brought up in a way that was bad, and I'm guilty for shit. And he takes off his mask and he goes, I'm Damien. And then like they almost kiss and shit, but then his mask starts blinking and he looks down in his mask and it's like alerts and shit, and it's like Deathstroke escapes. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Like Deathstroke?
Yeah. So like in his visor, like on his mask and everything, he sees like the HUD and shit. And
They've
it's
been
like
doing a big thing with like Deathstroke and Damien soon. Like Deathstroke thought Damien was his kid for a little while. It's stuff like that, and it's just like, what's going on?
It's Talia, man. Talia's trying to like play both Bruce and like Deathstroke and all that shit, and trying to have them both wrapped around her finger. So she just does all this mind games and shit. Because if it wasn't gonna be Batman, it was gonna be Deathstroke.
Yeah.
But yeah, the book is kind of weird, and that's how it ends. I wasn't too impressed with it.
Okay.
Would you check the next one?
Not really. It's like they're not really like in some of my other books, you can see that they're setting something up. I just haven't really seen what they're setting up on this one, aside from Deathstroke escaping, because I haven't kept up with the Deathstroke book. So.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of fell out the Deathstroke book. It was good, but it was like consistently like. It was kind of just going through like a little area where it was just like, what's happening? Like none of this really means anything. none of this is really going anywhere. It's just a bunch of spy stuff going.
Yeah, it just seemed like loaded and heavy, but without point.
Yeah, like they're making like Deathstroke's life, like his family life, and they were trying to make it into like a Batman. Like he had a son, a daughter, like a stepdaughter, like a daughter that wasn't a daughter, and his wife and stuff like that. And they're all
And a wife that killed him or tried to kill him, and
they were trying to make him like a anti-Batman, Batman family kind of thing like that. Like this is what happens if Batman's family like hated each other. They were all fucked up, and it just kind of fell off.
Well, speaking of family, that's exactly what happens in Uncanny X-Men, families reuniting in Uncanny X-Men number 12.
Okay.
By Matthew Rosenberg, Rochelle Rosenberg, and the artist is Salvador LaRocca. So basically, Wolverine, Cyclops, they reunited. Wolverine saved Cyclops because, you know, he wanted to do his whole dramatic moment in the camera, and so all his enemies met him up in this one spot, and so Wolverine helped him and saved him from all those people. But of course he got shot in the back, so Wolverine is helping him like remove the bullets.
He's like, I can't even
and
take
he's
a bullet,
like,
can
ow! He's like, ow! He's like, it hurts. He's like, stop squirming and it won't hurt so bad. He's like, I'm squirming because it hurts.
Jeez.
Jesus Christ, kid.
Yeah. So after Wolverine
Get it together.
First day back, you're already bitching.
I know, exactly. So after they have that, they're both like just thinking like, there's got to be more X-Men out here. Like they both individually found like mutants on their own. So, but there's definitely got to be some X-Men because not everyone was fighting X-Man on the island. And so far, all the people who were there on the island are gone. Except for Jamie Prime, because Jamie Prime dipped out on that island before they all disappeared.
I'm a big fan.
Where'd she go?
I'm glad we read that Multiple Man book back in like June. Like ever since then.
Oh,
like,
Jamie Prime.
Yeah, Multiple Man.
Multiple Man. Where'd he go?
Basically, there was a plan where X-Man was going to take Multiple Man and force him to like make multiple versions of himself. But but Jamie was like, well, if I'm not there, then he can't do his plan. So he just left.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't you say he went to like a bar or something?
Yeah,
Was
he just
posted
went
up?
to a bar.
Because if the plan did go through, then what would have happened was like the Multiple Man future that was in that book, where he had to go to the future and fight all the people that took over because it went crazy. So that was the inverse. So he was like, yeah, no, I'm just going to go drink instead. Yep. So he went and did that. So Multiple Man's cool.
So he's still there, and he has like multiple versions of himself still out there. So he's like just laying low, like super low, and just kind of just, you know, drinking and stuff.
On some Roger Smith shit.
And so basically Cyclops or Sky, he's like, you know what? I know there's more mutants out here. Let's go to the one person that I know is evil and always tries to take mutants. General Callahan's post. So they go to his post.
Okay.
Actually, sorry, backtrack. Wolverine first goes and finds some soldiers that work at that post, and he's like, I only need one of your bums.
Turbo put Ricky Spanish. That's funny.
And so the two soldiers are like, yo, get out of our face. We're just trying to drink, you know, because they just got off kind of shit. Yeah. And he's like, geez. I wouldn't start anything. And that's when his like claws would come out. And they're like, hey.
Are they still hot claws?
We're not afraid of you. No, they're just regular claws. He's like, we're not afraid of you. He's like, I don't care. I just need one of you. And so he took one guy's uniform and the other guy drove the truck. And so the guy, and they almost made it through, but the dude wanted to be a hero. And he's like, hey, there's mutants in here. They're trying to get in. And so what do the other soldiers do? Light up the truck. And so Mr. Hero died. They're like, shoot up the truck. So yeah, you want to be a hero, so now you're dead.
That's what happens to heroes around here. All right, so
So-
Let that be a lesson to the rest of you.
So Cyclops and Wolverine made it inside, and
Oh,
Cyclops
of
is
course.
like, "Oh, nice plan, Wolverine." He's like, "Hey, we're inside, aren't we?" While they're fighting off soldiers and stuff. And so then these gray sentinels come, and they're like, "What the heck?" So they take out a couple, and then Scott's like, "Wait, the sentinel is bleeding." Wolverine's like, "Well, that's weird. Sentinels don't bleed." He's like, "Exactly." So they find out that the Sentinels are actually just mutants in suits. And that's what they've been doing with the extra people. They either have them in jail or they got them in them suits. So, long story short, they save all the mutants from Callahan's post. And the last person that they saved was his brother, Alex Summers. And so they get reunited, and then Magic is there, and so she helps them all get away.
She teleports them all away.
Yeah, so basically there was like a sound wave barrier, so they broke the barrier, and then she teleported them and all the mutants out.
All right.
And so now they got their team.
Nice.
And they lost one. It was like an old guy, but, you know.
You're my boy, Blue.
Read the book. You're my boy, Blue.
He's the person that brings the team together. They're gonna be like, "Hey, you guys remember Blue? We gotta do this for Blue."
So get it. If you haven't been reading Uncanny X-Men, get it. It is good. It is amazing. Especially if you like Cyclops and Wolverine. They hate each other, and they talk to each other like they hate each other. So definitely check it out.
That's cool. That's cool. All right, my next one was Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man #3. So before this, Spider-Man, what you need to know is Spider-Man is back to being broke. He has a roommate. His roommate is a villain known as the Boomerang. Some people came by, kidnapped his neighbor. His neighbor dropped off some kids at his apartment. They're orange kids. Peter called Johnny Storm in for help, and then he went to go see what was happening. And when he went to go see what was happening, he found his old lady neighbor there. And then she did a super punch on one of these orange people. She took off her old lady clothes, and she's got a costume, a badass looking costume, and her name is The Rumor.
Oh.
And so we started out in Spider-Man's like, "Who are you and how do you know my name?" She's like, "My name's The Rumor. I used to like work undercover a long time ago, back before everybody had names. My name was The Rumor. You know, I was just known as The Rumor because that's all, you know, people heard." And so he's like, "Okay, how did you know who I was?" She's like, "Well, one day you helped me carry my groceries upstairs, and they were really heavy." He's like, "What? That doesn't make..." And then I put a camera outside your window, and I saw you swing by. It's like, "Oh, okay, there you go. That makes sense." And so they get to like this clock tower at the Empire State Building. And then they open it up, and it's like a portal. And he's like, "What the hell is this?" He's like, she says, "This is why I don't like elevators. You might want to stick to the walls or something." And then they just like shoot into another like dimension. And it's like the underground New York. It's like a city that's like stuck in the 1950s and stuff, but it's like all sepia and shit. Meanwhile, what's Johnny Storm doing with the two kids? Two kids are like, "Hey, Mr. Storm, I'm hungry." And he's like, "Oh shit, well let me go find something." And so he goes out to like the front with the kids to go find some food. And fucking Boomerang's out there. You know, he'd just be playing Call of Duty and shit in his boxers. He's like, "Oh shit, you're Johnny Storm." Johnny Storm doesn't like know who the guy is like without his costume and stuff. And so he's like, "Oh yeah, don't worry about me. Yeah, I'm Johnny Storm. I'm a friend of Peter's. These kids are in trouble, and so they asked me to help, and I'm just like watching them. And yeah." And he's like, okay, I thought you were here for me." He's like, no. And this is totally normal that I'm... Wait, why would I be here for you? And Boomerang was like, no reason. I'm just going to go back to my room. Do whatever you need to do.
He's still in his boxers the whole
He's like,
time.
"I'm out. I'm just going to go back. Go do it. The kitchen's over there." And so we go back to like Spider-Man, like the old lady. And the girl who's his neighbor, name is Leilani. And she was like, "Peter, can you help me find a superhero?" And he's like, "Okay."
Leilani of
yep.
the Lay.
Yeah, for real. And he's like, "Okay, I'll go get Spider-Man." She said, "Can you get a better hero?" He was like, "Oh, shit." And so, like, Spider-Man showed up to help her, and she's kind of like, "Oh, okay, well, okay." So the rumor the rumor's basically giving him the lowdown on all this. He's like, yeah, we used to trade with this underground New York a lot, but then like they got some leadership that stagnated them, and now this is just what it is. We're not going to do a whole lot here. We're at the Empire State Building. This is probably where they're hiding them, because in the 1950s, this was like the highest point. And
Makes
that's
sense.
what bad guys do. So we're going to do this quick, fast, and in a hurry. They break down the walls. She tells them to web the people's mouths, and they grab Leilani. And then, like, some dude with the mobster jacket, an orange dude with a mobster jacket, breaks through some double doors with this golden gun, and he shoots at the old lady. Peter jumps in the way, and he gets shot in the hip. And he's like, oh, shit. The thing about these orange people is they're super strong. And so the rumor looks to Leilani, she's like, hey, you're strong, right? And Leilani's like, yeah. So she grabs her and throws her out the window. And then, like, she's like, Peter, can you move? And she's like, yeah. And so she grabs him and throws him out the window. And she's like, web us. And so he, like, webs down, like, 10 stories and swings him, like, back in to the Empire State Building while he's shot. And then, like, he, like, flies him into, like, the elevator that's still open, right? They're going up the elevator to go back to the normal New York, and they cut the power to that interdimensional elevator. And they look up, and they're like, oh, shit.
I think it's so funny how it's an interdimensional elevator.
But
it
just
still
goes,
has technology problems.
Yeah, like you can still go up and down and stuff like that. But this is like the end of the book. They're basically like, they're stuck in the elevator, right? And they look up and they can see the top. And Peter's like, how far do you think that is? She's like, 3 miles. And he's like, get on. And so he carries them both on his back while he's shot up an elevator shaft for 3 miles. And then they get back to like the normal area. And she like picks him up and she's like, all right, let's go back home. We need to think of a plan. And if you got one, we're going to need a small army because they're coming. And that's the end of the issue. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man #3 by Tom Taylor. Yeah, that's
That
So
is
is
some
this all the
Spider-Man
rumors'
shit.
fault?
I don't know whose fault it is. This nigga got a lot of questions and none of them really got answered.
That's some Spider-Man shit. Climb 3 miles,
Yeah.
bleeding,
Real,
without passing out.
With him on his back, like upward 3 miles after he got shot. And he got shot in the hip bone. Like in the hip bone. He got shot by a magnum. God damn. That shit was bad.
Dang.
Yep. That dude had a golden desert eagle. And I guess the mob boss's daughter's Leilani. And he's like, you took my grandkids, where are they? So I guess that's his whole plot, but whatever. Spider-Man's doing cool shit in here. And it looks good. So
Dang. So get it. Read it. Chris, what you have next?
Well, this guy had, let's do this one. Old Man Quill #2.
Old Man.
Old Man Quill, huh?
So Old Man Logan was such a good book, they made Old Man Hawkeye. Then they made Old Man Quill.
Old Man Hawkeye was a good book
Yeah,
too.
that was a sleeper hit. Sleeper hit of the year, 2009.
Remember?
Not 2009, 2018.
With the glaucoma.
That nigga was
Last year.
blind.
With the glaucoma, mind you.
That nigga was blind fucking up fucking Bullseye.
Anyways,
So,
but Old
what
Man
about
Quill.
Old Man Quill? What is he up to?
Man. Okay. I'm gonna tell you how the book
Is this still in
starts
the,
off.
okay, cool. Is this still in the Old Man Logan universe?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 words. New Latveria.
Yep, do it.
AKA New Babylon. AKA Old New York. Now, it starts off with that, right? And in the middle of Doom Square of New Latveria,
You know he's so
is
happy.
Doom. And Doom is over there talking to all the people. Hey, everybody, here's food from Doom. Doom care packages for everyone, because Doom loves you all. Doom is God. We love you, Doom. We love you. People fighting over packages of rations and shit. And this is Doom rations and shit on it.
Doom rations. I don't think you should eat those. I don't think you should eat those.
And then there's this one
What?
guy.
They're Doom rations.
This is one guy out in the crowd, and he's like, "Fuck you, Doom! Fuck you! I know who you are. You're evil. I know what you stand for." So he takes this bottle and chucks it at Doom, and then it breaks on him, and he's all like wet and shit. And he's like, "What? Doom can't be seen as weak in front of his people. Not Doom." And then Doom starts killing everybody. Doom must maintain balance, and he starts killing everybody, and it's just a Doom bot. And I'm like, yo.
You right about that, Turbo. He on his Nino Brown shit.
Yo. So anyway, After Doom kills all those people, because he didn't just kill one spectator, the dude who threw the shit. He lost his like shit because he got all wet or whatever and killed all those people. We transition and stuff. And we go to fucking Peter, it's fucking Rocket, it's Drax, it's Mantis, and someone else. And they're in the middle of the wastelands where they recently crashed and landed. So now they're trying to find out what the fuck is going on. It's a desert and shit, and they come down around towards this ghost town, and Peter's thirsty. This nigga's dehydrated. He needs something. He's like, I'm about to fall out and pass out. And Rocket's like, get your shit together, man. You don't see me losing it. But Rocket's riding on Drax, so Rocket hasn't really exerted much energy. But Peter sees some water, and Peter goes running to this fountain and starts drinking all this water. But then he stops and looks up, and there's a decapitated head in the fountain.
Oh shit! Is it Giant Man? Oh wait, no, never mind.
So was he even splashing his face with water?
Nah, it was like the fountain, Jen. It was like the top of the fountain with the head and everything. The water's coming down and comes down to the next thing, and he's drinking out of that, and then the bottom thing, but there's blood. And he's like, looks around, everybody's all dead as shit. And next thing,
you should have known once he tasted that iron.
Wait, like Groot and like Rocket and everybody's dead?
No, people in the ghost town are dead.
Oh, okay.
Bodies and shit decapitated, and they're just lying around. So as that shit's going down and Peter's getting his bearings, the motherfucking wrecking crew shows up.
Nice.
Yes.
Crusher Creel? No, not
Dude.
Wrecking Crew. That's not Wrecking Crew. Wrecking Crew's like the guy with the ball and chain, huh? Yeah.
All them niggas are there and they're all fighting. But little do you know, these ain't
showing
the
up
original.
randomly lately.
Yeah.
They ain't the original wrecking crew.
It ain't your dad's Wrecking Crew.
Nope. But one of them did fight Thor to a standstill, but it did nothing this time because the Guardians of the Galaxy were too much for him. Even Rocket Raccoon shot out a grenade launcher on accident into one of their mouths and then blew that nigga's head the fuck up.
Accident.
That sounds like a Rocket thing he'd do on accident. Like he'd be talking to somebody, he'd be like, shit, uh-oh.
That's exactly what happened. He was trying to use something else. He's like, where's it at? God damn it. And he's like looking for it, shot the thing, went out, and he's like, oh, that was the grenade launcher. Boom! Nigga's head. Fucking Drax takes like someone's pile driver and shit, or someone's crowbar, and stabs him with an impales it and kills that fool. And then pile driver. Not your dad's pile driver, the new pile driver. The one who's like, I gotta live up to his name. Grandma wanted me to be a pile driver. You don't know what it's like. That dude. Yeah, he's a real guy. He's scary. He's afraid of the power. He's timid. He wanted an easy come up, but he wasn't expecting the Guardians to show up. So he took a hostage. He's like, you guys stay back. You stay back or this girl gets it. And then fucking Peter's like, no, that's not how it's gonna go down. Boom. Quick draw, shoots this nigga in the head, and the dude drops. And everybody was like, wow, Peter's gotten darker. and it's like, don't worry, he'll make his way back. He has to.
Shut up, Groot.
And then that's like the end of it. I was like, oh shit. I guess in the next episode or next comic, I guess I'll fucking
I guess it's not easy growing up anywhere.
Right. I guess they're gonna end up facing or coming up against Doom and shit, because Doom ended up finding out that their ship crashed in the wastelands and shit. But that's how that comic ended. And I was like, God damn, he shot that nigga in the head and he just dropped the girl on some fucking like quick draw shit. Make my day.
Make my day.
Bam! Nigga shot the nigga and the nigga dropped. I was like, that's a comic.
Make my day, punk.
Old Man Quill. Check that shit out. Number 2 just came out, but I'm getting number 3.
Those old man books are dog. Wolverine.
The old man books are good.
Yeah. Old Man Logan originally back in like 2005 was pretty good. I got the one when Secret Wars ended. I got like 4 volumes out of that, and it went up to 50, and they just killed him off. And they brought out Old Man Hawkeye. That was a sleeper hit. Old Man Quill's good. Sometimes they do strike gold.
Dude, yeah, I knew this Quill one was gonna be nasty because Quill is just a cold ass dude to begin with. Knew that was. It's like if Quill lived to be an old ass man, all the shit that he done learned, all the tricks he done picked up, the skill sets and stuff over the years,
through
yeah,
the
he gonna be hard to
stars and
kill.
back.
You know that nigga live in space, so that nigga old. That nigga
Yeah,
said some
he gonna
shit.
be hard to kill.
All right, well, what's your
real.
next one?
Shuri, number 5, by Nettie Okafor, Leonardo Romero, and Jordi Belair. And so, let me tell you what's going on. An electric grasshopper just left.
Jeez, I remember the black hole one, right?
Yup, and the black hole was left there in Timbuktu. And
God
so,
damn.
you know, Shuri, she's like, I need help to, you know, match my intelligence. So she calls Tony. And so Iron Man comes, and he comes and helps her out. And so basically,
Checking the math.
their job is to just make sure they close the wormhole, and everyone else's job is to make sure that everyone's evacuated. But, you know, of course, Wakandans aren't up to date on technology, so not everyone has a mobile cell phone. So her subordinates had to cut into radio waves and hack into personal watches to get people to evacuate.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we don't have phones. We have those beads that we use around our wrists, and yeah, I don't know what a phone is. That thing looks clunky. What is that?
It looks inefficient.
What is that?
Looks radioactive.
I don't have pockets. Why do I have this thing?
I wouldn't even be surprised if they have like earrings that they could fucking turn into like walkie-talkies
Oh,
or something.
I would
like
not even be
necklaces
surprised.
that just like take out the audio communication or something.
So anyways, her and Tony are just brainstorming back and forth, and then Moses Magnum comes. And Moses Magnum is an old Iron Man villain that has seismic powers. So he can absorb, you know, energy from anything. So he's absorbing the black hole energy
That nigga's name
to
is
make
Moses.
himself.
That nigga on some motherfucker. What was that movie called? Bruce Almighty.
The name of Moses.
That would be dope. That would be dope to have seismic powers.
Strong niggas got the name of Moses, Corey.
What's up?
I said strong niggas go by Moses.
That's like just
Yeah,
nigga born
Moses Magnum.
old. That's a nigga born
That's
old.
an old,
So,
strong nigga. That's
he
an
shows
old
up,
strength.
He shows up and he's definitely like, oh, Iron Man? Oh, Shuri, you need to stop going to outside forces for African problems.
They really do.
And so he's like, so he jumps in and he's trying to fight him. But then Shuri figures out that she can recalibrate the drone, and the drone will close the black hole. And so basically there's this nice little back and forth of her and Tony throwing out formulas that nobody else would understand unless you take physics and all that engineering stuff. And then she does it. The wormhole closes and sucks in Moses Magnum. And the weird thing is like, oh, he could have died, but Shuri is not even phased. Because Tony's like, oh, it's closed. Well, is he alive? She's like, doesn't matter. The point is we saved everybody in Timbuktu and we closed the black hole.
Yeah, not everybody's Spider-Man. Sometimes
Yeah.
problems need to end where they start.
So
Here.
good news is he doesn't die. He pops out of another wormhole somewhere else, gets arrested, and then so you know that's closed. And there's still
Hey!
a giant electricity sucking grasshopper out there, but you know we can't track it. So you know eventually we'll find it. And everyone still wants me to take up the mantle as Black Panther, but I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it because I've done it before and I hated it. And, you know, I don't want to admit that maybe my brother will never come back. So I don't want to take up the mantle.
Okay,
but at the end of the book, I take up the mantle.
I was talking shit about Peter Parker's morals, but this girl ain't got no morals.
Whatsoever.
Yeah, she just leaves it. Hey, well, if she takes up the mantle, at least she'll get a Black Panther suit.
Well, she has a Black Panther suit.
Oh, she just doesn't put it on anymore.
So at the end of the book, she puts it on. And she still doesn't have her ancestral powers after she came back from space.
Damn, that's fucked up.
So-
Those were so damn dope. Like, she didn't need to be Black Panther if she had those powers.
Yeah.
Not
So-
really.
It was dope. She had those.
No,
dope.
she could have changed into birds, like she made her own wings. But now at the end of the book, she has the Black Panther suit on with her wings that she made in a can from from the other issue.
You know, like that ancestral plane that like T'Challa had to go in the movie? She could like access that at any given time. She was like, oh, I'm going to go talk to our ancestors. And she like transport her there, come back.
You know that scene where Kronk has his little angel and his little devil and they're like talking to him? Her ancestors can just pop up like that and talk to her whenever they want.
So honestly, she probably should be in charge.
But
all things considered, like, I understand what the people are saying. She probably should be in charge. Like, that's kind of fucked up. You're kind of leading us all.
pretty much, yeah, she's just being selfish and not doing it. So definitely check it out. You can pick up any of the Shuri books whenever you want because the first page, they give you a rundown of what happened.
Marvel's really good at that.
So check it out, especially the art. It's really nice. It gives you really like old school vibes. Like the penciling and the inking is like really dark and really hard, but it's really nice. It goes with the flow. So check it out.
Nice. Sounds good. All right, so the next one I got, we're going to do some DC action. Batman number 65. So this is a crossover event with Flash. This is the part 3 of 4. The event is called The Price. And the chapter of this one is called The Price of Vengeance.
These titles are nasty because the last one was The Price of Innocence.
Yeah, man. Yeah, this one is written by Joshua Williamson and like the artist is by March. But Joshua Williamson is the guy who writes The Flash, and damn, man, I can really tell with the way he's writing this. Like, I wrote a couple Flash books, and it's like a lot of like inner monologue, but it's like not like dry, gritty Batman, like, oh, fuck this. I can't lose nobody else. It's like actual like thought out plans and shit. Anyway, we're talking about Gotham Girl. Gotham Girl, who's she? She's somebody that has the powers, basically Superman, because she got him one way or another. The more she uses her powers, the quicker she dies. Her brother used his powers. He fought the Justice League, and then he died. The reason why they're named Gotham and Gotham Girl is because they were inspired by Batman when they were kids. So this is kind of Batman's fault, like everything is. So Gotham Girl's crazy. She's going through like her origin story. She's like, I remember my origin. Me and my parents were in an alley, and it was right after the movies, and then a mugger came, and we were like, no.
Oh, just
and
like
then
Batman.
I punched his head off, and it shows like the mugger's head like slowly ripping off and shit like that. She was like, actually, that wasn't really what happened, but that's a cool origin story. What really happened was my brother was there, and then he came home and told me about it. Like, Batman, the brother was there. Batman saved the brother, the dad, and the mom. The brother went home, told the sister about it. They became obsessed with Batman, went out, got powers, came back. Brother died. Sister went to a psychiatric ward, came back. She's mad at Batman. So, why is she doing this? Who knows? We don't know who's pulling the strings yet. But she's going to go attack Central City. She just attacked the Flash Museum. That's when Batman and Flash got together, and they're like, okay, we got to figure this out. We got to figure out what's going on.
Not the Flash Museum.
Yep. And so they're taking out a bunch of, like, clones of, like, just superheroes. And Flash is like, look, I got to go. She's going to Central City right now, and I'm the only person that can protect it. We're pretty far away. I need to run. I need to get out of here. So Batman's like, I'm going with you. And he's like, fuck you, Batman. We ain't getting along right now. Cut the scene. Wally died a little while ago. Iris is upset about it. She's a writer, a journalist, and she's like, if nobody's gonna write Wally's obituary, I am. So she's in the GCPD. She finds a picture of Wally in Barry's desk, and then bam, Gotham Girl crashes into the GCPD and starts like blowing shit up. Flash shows up. He's like, Gotham Girl, I understand what it's like to lose somebody. Like, I understand. I've been there. Like, it's consuming. Right. Like, it's hard to get over, but if you let us help you, we can help. Iris, what are you doing here? And then Gotham Girl, bam, punches this nigga. Oh, actually, no. He's like, you don't have to be alone, Gotham Girl. Gotham Girl's like, I'm not alone. And that's when, like, a zombie version of her brother comes and flies in. And it's like, hello, Flash. And you're like, oh, shit. Because this nigga got all Superman's powers.
Gross.
And so, like, Flash is, like, staying away from him, trying to talk to him. And that's when he sees Iris. And he's like, Iris, what the? This nigga punches the fuck out of him. He breaks through the wall at the GCPD. He hits the window on the building across the street and drops, like, 4 stories onto a car. And he's just like, oh, shit. This is bad. And meanwhile, Batman's in, like, the jet, the Batwing, whatever it is, and he's like pushing the jets on 110%. Alfred's calling him like, why are you going so fast? What's going on? The Batwing's gonna explode. You gotta get out of there. What's going on? And he just keeps on pressing on the jets and everything. He's like, I'm not gonna lose another Flash. I'm not gonna lose another Flash. So he gets over Gotham, or he gets over Central City. He jumps out and he's like, Gotham, what the hell are you doing here? And basically Gotham's, you know, about to start monologuing, and then like all these light beams start jumping out of his body, and his body basically he like decays from the inside out because he was using his powers. And so you're like, okay, so he was
anticlimactic.
pretty much, you thought he was gonna whoop some ass, but then he just kind of like burned out. So like, okay, we're establishing that these zombie clones don't last that long. And really, it just kind of ends with Gotham Girl seeing that. She starts getting real mad, and then she basically does like a Super Saiyan thing at the very end. It's kind of ambiguous. It started good, but it kind of like ended like, okay, what's happening exactly?
Like, what's going on?
Yeah, she like absorbed, I think, some of his power, and now she's like glowing.
She straight up just looks like
Yeah,
she just looks like a star. She's like glowing, bright yellow, levitating, like.
Oh, like Diana and the curse mark and shit.
Yes.
Got you.
Exactly like that.
Yeah,
I
so
got you.
it's jumping around a lot. It's like real like steeped in like all the stuff that's been happening like the last 2 years. So if you haven't really been keeping up with either of the books, then you're not really.
But you said that was 3 or 4, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, they're definitely setting that up for the finale of like.
Has there been anything, I might have missed it or whatever, but has there been anything that is alluded to like the Button, or is this strictly just a Batman Flash
They have
thing?
said this is just like the Button, where there's somebody else pulling the strings, but
Mm-hmm.
we don't know who. Like, we
Okay.
thought it was Bane pulling the strings, but it isn't even Bane. So somebody gave Gotham and Gotham Girl the powers, and somebody is going to Gotham Girl and, like, persuading her to keep on using her powers.
Based on
Right.
the last 3 issues, who could you possibly throw out there that could be pulling the strings?
I thought it was Dr. Manhattan in the Button. I thought it was Bane in this. I don't know. I would think it's, what's his name? The Doctor?
Hugo?
Dr. Hugo Strange. He's basically like just a bad doctor who like fucking brainwashes people at Arkham. But yeah, so basically, like I said, when they overexert their powers, they basically burn out. What she was doing was she was like burning out a little bit. She was like, it hurts on the inside, but she internalized it, and then that's when she like got this unlocked power. So she's probably gonna burn out and die in the next issue because there's no way this shit can be sustained. Like, she might not even have a body. It might just like fucking fade to dust on some Avengers shit. So, I mean, I'm gonna read it. I did like the first 2 parts and then the first part of this issue, but it's kind of like, all right, it's kind of little, They're just trying to show some cool stuff at the end, and it's not really any story to it. But we still got another issue, so who knows? Like, all in trade, it could be amazing. It looks good. The first parts are good, so it might just be this issue again. So
Nice.
all right, I'm gonna stop talking about Batman. Chris, what'd you have?
Oh, it's my final book. I had Doctor Strange number 11 by Wade and Sayers.
Nice.
Sayers. One of the two.
Say it as you will.
Whatever. But as we picked up from the last issue, you got Wong and 2 other underlings of like Stephen Strange and shit.
Are they ladies?
2 underlings are ladies, yeah.
Yeah.
They were helping Steven and everything while Dormammu was attacking, so they were there.
Yeah.
Like as Dormammu was like wreaking havoc and shit. So what Strange starts doing is he starts getting Dormammu to monologue while doing some sleight of hand shit. So with one hand behind his back, he transports those 3 to the room where the original accountant was, like the dude who stole the magic from the ancient one. He transports them into his office so they can look for the magic. So they're in there looking for the magic. They find it, and it gets all the ancient ones' knowledge and shit gets bestowed upon all of them and shit. So they all have the knowledge, but in gaining the knowledge in that kind of way, it's bad for them. Strange is still talking to Dormammu, playing on the fact that he's stronger than Dormammu, that he can beat him, this and that, but in actuality he can't. but he's done it enough to where Dormammu was like questioning. So maybe he does have a stance. Yeah. So all Strange can really do right now is just keep him talking.
That's what I like about it. I don't know a lot about them, but I do like that part of their relationship. How it's like Strange always beats him, because that even happened in Avengers. The whatever that Hulk one with like Doctor Strange and everything. At the very end, Doctor Strange was like captured, like fucking bound in chains and everything, like in the chains. And Dormammu was like, I can't keep my eyes off you. If I like look away, I know you're gonna do something tricky. I don't know what it is, but I know there's something tricky.
Well, because he's a magician, right? So he can probably escape.
Yeah, but this nigga was like tied up in hell.
You stay here.
Like, don't you want to go do something else? No, I'm gonna be right here.
Making sure that you don't leave. He said from like Hell's Gate ruler to babysitter. Nice. But anyway, as the crew is like gaining the new knowledge, they're adding that knowledge on top of what they already know or their individual skill sets. So like Wong grew in super size and shit and was fighting one of like Dormammu's giant minions and shit and was like punching them and shit. Whoa! Another one like just ended up getting like guns and shit and started firing them and shit. I don't know what that like.
Was it the alien lady?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when Doctor Strange lost all the magic, magic comes from space. Like everything else in Marvel. So he went out to space to go find magic, and then she was from a world where it was kind of the opposite, where they did more technology, did more magic, and like technology was like how magic is here. So they met each other, they're like, oh, cool, come back to Earth with me. And then that girl is just some girl that does magic. Doesn't matter.
She had tech, and she was firing at people, or more minions and stuff. And then the final one was just a librarian. And she...
Oh!
What does she do?
Her quote-unquote superpower is applied knowledge. So this bitch like was looking and like researching and was like, how do I do this? What do I do? How do I figure it out? And ends up like sending out this huge ass powerful magic attack and everything that ends up like nullifying one of the giant minions and stuff. That gives like Strange enough time to like get on Dormammu and like start like kind of battling and like go on the offensive.
Wait.
So the librarian, does she just like read techniques and then she automatically just knows how to do them?
She automatically knows how to do this shit from gaining the magic from the ancient one. When they went back and got like his magic, it went into all three of them. So they have centuries like length of like knowledge and teachings and wisdom and shit all inside them, but it's like burning them up kind of because they got it the wrong way.
Wait, that is the girl Zoe? I thought it was like it's like some girl with glasses and stuff.
Yeah, I forget what her name is, but yeah, she's the librarian.
Cool. She's cool. The other one, I thought it was like this other like they've been throwing like so many like people over there like, all right, you learn magic now. But I like Zoe. When there was no magic, Zoe was around. When Wong left, Zoe was around. Zoe's cool.
So she ends up sending out some huge magic attack, and it goes out and like nullifies and everything. So then we transition back to Dormammu and Steve is like, Steve is listening to a monologue, and Dormammu gave him exactly what Steve needed to get the upper hand on him, because all he needs is to distract him for 1 second. Just a split second so he'd go on the offensive, just to get him to blink or second guess something. So fucking Steve is sitting over here and he's listening to Dormammu talking about like how he wants to rule everything, and it was because Steve failed and everything, and it'll be great to do this because it's all Steve's fault, yada yada. And he's here fucking up Steve, but he got his minions out there doing everything that needs to be done and shit. And then Steve's sitting here and was like, well, you do realize in your effort to go out and conquer the world, you didn't actually conquer the world. Someone else did it for you, or someone else conquered the world. And then fucking Dormammu was like, wait, no, wait, and then all the other three people who got the magic and shit, they all showed up and they start using magic on Dormammu at the same time. He's like, now, hold on, do it now. And everybody's getting weak and they're like starting to black out or be in pain. They're like, we can't do it, just a few more seconds.
Like
and then Dormammu, boom, and knocks everybody back. He's a foolish, strange. Like, it starts talking shit and everything, and then out of nowhere, the Ancient One comes from behind, and it kills Dormammu, or basically banishes him and sends his like minions into the sky, into like this like rip and shit. So then like the day is saved for the time being, and then the Ancient One was like, "Good thing that you guys got my magic back, because then I was able to remember everything."
What?
So Dormammu is gone for the time being. And then like everybody's like, yo, he's not gonna forget this. This isn't the end of that. We only won for like the moment. I'm sure he's gonna be back, or I'm sure there's gonna be greater threats, this, that, and the third. And the next great threat that's coming is fucking Galactus.
That's awesome.
So that's in the next issue.
Magic versus Galactus.
That's
something
awesome.
we've never seen before.
That is gonna be
Usually
awesome.
they try to push him back for like technology or cosmic power, but never magic. Zoe's cool. Remember that Jason Aaron one when I said like everything that Jason Aaron run when Doctor Strange, I said every magic that he did, like he got like the opposite energy and he put it into the basement and it was like a creature that hated him. You don't remember that? Either way, that was Jason Aaron's run in Doctor Strange, and Zoe was there. She was basically the bookkeeper. Like,
yep.
He hired her he was like, look, I got a lot of books and shit. Can you organize it? And so she like organized his mansion and stuff like that. And then Loki became Sorcerer Supreme. And she stayed around when Loki was there. And she's cool. She has a cool story.
She was talking to the Ancient One at the end of the book. She was like, yo, Ancient One, you old as shit. And you know a lot of stuff. Some of the stuff only you know. And the Ancient One's like, yeah, some of the spells I know, only me know. It's like, if I were to die, then they would never be learned again, or some shit like that. And then she's like, hey, that's not good.
Kid. What do you want?
That's not good. And the Ancient One is like, you're right, that isn't good. Want to start a library for me so I can so I can like get it all down? And then she's like, yes, I am down. So now this bitch is gonna like itemize all this nigga's spells, wisdom, knowledge, magic.
Just like
that's
that.
nice.
She's just like the girl with the glasses from Naruto.
Yeah, that's
the
cool.
messed up hair.
Now you don't even have to use Zoe anymore. You got the end of her little story right there. That's cool. I'm glad that happened. All right, cool. Well, what was your third book?
My last book is Jessica Jones Digital Comic Volume number 2, which is really just chapters 3 and 4. And right now her daughter is purple.
Yeah, this one's called Purple Daughter. Kelly Thompson's writing some exclusives. Mm-hmm. This one's called Purple Daughter.
So it is by Kelly Thompson, and the artist is Mattia de Ilus. And yeah, her daughter's purple, so she's dealing with that. And of course, Luke is like all jacked up about it because he's like, that's my daughter. She looks just like me, and now she's purple. And then his whole thing is like, I understood what Jessica was going through when after everything with Kilgrave, but now I fully understand what she's going through all the time, because he's sitting there thinking like, did she have sex with Kilgrave? Did Kilgrave rape her? Is this all an illusion and they're just like seeing things?
Did she just give birth to a purple baby that had nothing to do with Kilgrave?
Is it just an illusion? Like,
is it just an illusion and they're just seeing stuff because they don't know? That's how Kilgrave is. They just don't know what's real and what's not real.
That's fucked up.
So he's like, I just don't know what to trust. But basically, at the end of his little monologue to Danny, he's just saying like, hey, it doesn't matter. This is my family, and I'm going to stick by my family, even though I am like emotionally fucked up right now. And so, of course, Jessica hears that, so she feels a little better about her situation. And then her and Danny have a nice little moment, and Danny's like, the Iron Fist. He's like, Jessica doesn't hate me. Because her thing is, like, she just never gave Danny the time of day. And so after she was leaving, she's like, you know what, Danny? You're a good friend. Like, you're a good friend or something like that. So she leaves.
You're all right.
So he's all geeked. And so basically at the end of chapter 3, we just know that she's looking for the purple children because not only is her daughter purple, but also random suicides have been going around the city. Like, for example, this Inhuman, she has wings and she can fly, and she died from jumping off a 10-story building. This other dude, he was a pizza delivery man, and he died by cutting himself with a pizza cutter. No. So it's definitely like these signs that Kilgrave is back around. Plus, her daughter is purple, so she's all kinds of jacked up.
I'm not a detective, but I'd be fucked up right now. Like, god damn.
So
wait, isn't he dead? He's dead, right? Supposed to be dead?
He's supposed to be dead. So this is why she's freaking out. He's supposed to be dead. So at the end of chapter 3, she just asked for a favor from Emma Frost, aka the Black King right now. So she has a black outfit on. She got new boobs, you know, doing her thing in the black market. So she brings Jessica kind of like a dampener that she can like put in her ear so that people wouldn't be able to control her mind. So in chapter 4, we just start out with her and Emma Frost going to meet the purple children. And the purple children are like, it's not what you think, Jessica. We're just trying to protect you, yada, yada, yada. And she's like, get out of my way. So basically, she just pushes all the purple children to the side. Like, get out. So she moves, gets them out of the way.
We love you, Mom.
But then you see you see this syringe, and it has like purple stuff in it. And Emma gets injected with the purple stuff. And so we're like, what the heck? So then her eyes turn purple and she loses control of her mind because Jessica's like, hey, go to diamond form and then it will not infect you. She's like, you idiot. That's the last thing I need to do.
Because then it'll be stuck in there.
Oh, crap. And she gets forced to turn into diamond mode because, you know, the way that Kilgrave works is once you think it can happen. So she turned into diamond form, turned against Jessica, and but she's like fighting it. So Jessica punches her and knocks her out. So she's asleep.
Hold up, Jessica punches her diamond form and knocks her out.
Basically, Emma was fighting herself, so she like gave Jessica like a cue, like, hey, count down from 3, and I won't be in diamond form, and then you can punch me in the face.
Right here at the jaw.
Because I'm like, oh, yeah, the sleeper. Because I'm sitting here like, yeah, ain't no way Jessica Jones putting out a diamond face,
yeah, I was
bitch.
thinking the same thing.
No.
I was like,
Ain't no way she's knocking her out.
No, she almost had her, and then you can see like Emma screams for a second, and she's like, Jessica, on 3 kind of thing. And so she like counts down from 3, then sleepers her when she's not in diamond
Jessica
form.
Jones pretty much has diet power. She can kind of pick up cars. She can kind of fly. Not really. She can glide.
No, she can't fly.
She can glide. She can kind of
But she definitely has like super strength. And so she beats Emma, and then she goes to this other room, and it's just a whole bunch of humans with purple eyes. And she's like, oh, great. I hate fighting people without powers. Because she's like,
stomping through all of them.
Now I have to use math and figure out like not to punch them too hard and not to fly them too far. But at the end, it basically says that she doesn't give a fuck. So she just does
why is she saying all this? She doesn't care. She's just saying it.
She basically does what she does, beats the humans, and gets to the final room, and she finds Kilgrave in a hospital bed, hooked up to an IV, and she's like, but wait, he's like dead still. Like, he's laying there, and he's like, oh wait, he's dead. And then Benjamin is there. Benjamin is a bastard kid that Kilgrave had that didn't turn purple and doesn't have powers. So what does he need to do to get Kilgrave's love?
Kill people.
So he takes Kilgrave's blood, mixes it with his own blood, and then injects that into people. Yup. Because he's like, I didn't turn purple, I didn't get power, so how do I get my daddy's love?
Kelly Thompson, good ass writer.
And that's how it ends.
Good. That was pretty goddamn good. That's how you write. Damn.
I didn't see that coming at all.
That's how it ends. I didn't see it coming at all. There's all these purple children out there still that Daredevil thanks to you,
Jeez.
told me, saved. And so Jessica thought it was just one of them. And so she was all ready to kill him. Like, Daredevil is like, you know they're just kids, right? You can't hurt kids. She's like, I'm not going to hurt them. And then in her mind, she's like, probably.
Probably going to have to kill these kids.
But yeah, so that's how it ends. I don't know how she's going to defeat Benjamin because Benjamin inject her as well with the blood. So it's just a matter of time until, like, it kicks in kind of thing.
Oh, man. Whoa.
So yeah, that's
Heavy.
Jessica Jones.
Heavy.
Digital volume number 2, Purple Daughter.
Holy shit. Chapters 3 and 4.
Get it. It is so good. It's not like being marketed right now. So that's like the biggest thing about Kelly. She's mad about that they're not marketing it, but god damn it. It needs to be because it's so good.
God damn. All right. Well, shit. My last one is Avengers No Road Home number 2. Part 2 of the 10-part weekly series. The Avengers are taking out some people. Not your dad's Avengers. These are the strongest Avengers they have in a certain way. We got Hercules, Rocket Raccoon, Hawkeye, Scarlet Witch, Vision, Spectrum, the Hulk, and Voyager. Voyager is the daughter of a, what is his name? It's like the Collector, the battle guy who fucking makes people, Grandmaster. That's his daughter. She can teleport stuff. All right.
She can teleport stuff?
Yep.
That's dope.
So, what's she doing? She's hanging out with the Challenger. Who's the Challenger? He's the guy who was the villain of the last weekly event series. What did the Challenger do? He teleported away to Earth with the Grandmaster, and they're like, look, we're going to play a chess game with the puzzle pieces. Puzzle pieces were the Avengers. The Avengers won. Earth went back. Now we're here. So, like we said last time, they're at Mount Olympus.
Right.
All the Greek gods are dead. Nyx and her minions killed them. And so now we're starting the issue, and it's all being narrated by Hawkeye. We're narrating it with Hawkeye to show you just how strong this woman is compared to these gods. Because you're asking Hawkeye questions like, okay, why do you do what you do? How do you do what you do? Are you the luckiest man? And the whole time he's like, people ask me all the time. And when it gets down to it, I'm lucky. I freak out, and if I stop to think about stuff, I'll fuck up, and I have like anxiety attacks. So I have to just keep on moving. I have to keep on acting, because it's like if I ask myself like, why am I shooting arrows at a god? I'm gonna stop shooting arrows at a god, and I'll be dead. So it shows you how did the actual gods die. So they're all hanging out, drinking and stuff like that, and then Nyx comes, like this, like the goddess of night, or the entity of night in Greek mythology, and she has her demons. And so she was hid behind the sun, but they teleported the earth and the sun away, and so she broke out. She came back, and she's like, yeah, Zeus, you fucked up. You fucked up. You hid me behind the sun, but for some reason or another, I'm back. And I know you split the 3 parts of my soul into 3 parts and spread them, so I need that information. So she starts torturing the gods for the information, and Zeus is like, you son of a bitch, you just wait till the Avengers come here, my son's gonna be here, and he's gonna kill, and she's like, oh, that's just sad, with like 2 fingers, is like, crack, and breaks Zeus's neck. And I'm like, wow. And she's just like looking at him, she's like, does it concern you at all that I'm this powerful and I'm still missing 3 out of 4 of my like pieces of my soul? Does that concern you at all, Zeus? And she just starts killing all the other gods like one by one. Her minions, one of them's like misery, so it touches you and it makes you start speaking like the deepest like truths in like your heart. And Zeus is like, oh, I'm afraid. He was all crying and shit before he died. And so like the Avengers show up. Scarlet Witch says her name, and then she shows up, puts her hand, like phases it through Scarlet Witch's face, right? She didn't kill Scarlet Witch, but she blinded her. Like she put her like hand through the back of her head, and her fingers were like through her eyes. She pulls it back, and Scarlet Witch is like, I can't see shit. Hawkeye is like, it's okay. Everything's gonna be okay.
He said, it's okay.
I'm freaking out now. And so So you have them all fighting. You have her fighting Hercules, and she's beating Hercules and everything like that. Whoa. And she was like, wow, you guys are pretty fucking weak. This is actually pretty fucking sad. She's like fucking them all up. She's scratching the Hulk up the chest like easily and everything, like piercing the skin. She's like punching Hercules. She's dodging the arrows like it's nothing, like it's on like some like anime shit. And then like Hawkeye's just like, oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. What the hell am I gonna do about this? And so like the Hulk comes and he grabs her. And then Rocket's like, hold her steady. He shoots and then she phases through the Hulk's hand. So she has the powers to like phase and stuff like that. And so everybody's like, oh shit, what do we do? And then Vision is like, I have an idea. And Monica Rambeau, if you guys remember from the last issue, Spectrum, she has the power to turn herself into energy. Yeah. She was inside Vision doing a diagnostics check. Remember, she turned to that electrical current and she was hiding inside Vision. And so they get the sneak on Nyx and she just does like a fucking solar flare. It makes it so like it's just bright lights and like Nyx gets blinded real quick and then Hercules comes up for the sucker punch. And she was like, that was almost half a hit. Respect. Respect. She's like, but you know you fucked up, right? And that's when Voyager comes. She like pops through a portal. She's like, no, you guys are idiots. You're fucking up. She's just distracting you, Hercules. Haven't you noticed all of her minions are gone? They're looking for the pieces of her. She's like, but now that I'm here, now that I'm like face to face with her, I can kind of see where these things are. I'll just teleport you guys in groups to these random pieces. All right, guys, go. And so like she's like stuck with Nyx, and Nyx is like, you know you fucked up, right? And then like she's like, Misery, come here. So like Misery, it's like this like weird like salamander thing that's like crawling all over. And the girl's like, oh no, don't make me tell you. So this girl's gonna have the fucking power to like teleport to all the pieces of her like soul and shit. And like if she's at 25% strength, well, I don't even know what the fuck's coming next. And then after they're all teleported, Hawkeye just wakes up and he's in a hospital bed. And he's like, what the fuck? And he's like looking around, he's like, nurse. No. And he can't like nobody's there. And he's like, what the hell? He looks at his hand and his thumb's cut off on his right hand. He has no thumb. And like the inner monologue like comes back and he's like, people always ask me like, well, how do you do it? He's like, I'm just lucky. And the thing is, you just keep on using your luck until your luck runs out. And he's just sitting there crying in his bed. And then the Hulk shows up and he's like, time to pay up. And the fucking comic ends. I was like, holy shit.
Wait, he has no thumb?
He has no thumb right now. Like, he has a bandage over his hand and he has, like, no thumb. You're like, yo, what the fuck happened to him?
That's the one that I pulled my arrows back with.
Yeah.
Like,
in last issue, he was, he got in a fight with the Hulk. Like, hey, Banner forgave me, why didn't you? And the Hulk's like, I ain't forgive you yet, so don't get caught slipping. And Hawkeye just got caught slipping, so... We'll see what happens next week on Avengers No Road Home #3.
Whoa.
So, what do you guys think book of the week was? I think it was Jessica Jones this week.
I was going to say Jessica Jones as well.
I really like Spider-Man a lot. And I really like Venom. Because that twist with Venom and that being his son. But Jessica Jones was like, god damn, now that's a book. Like, that's a mystery book. Like, you could write that into, like, fucking no pictures.
100%. I was like, who is this bad guy going to be? That's not...
I know it's not one that I read.
Tony will give him a new thumb.
Tony will give him a new thumb that shoots arrows. He just pulls on the arrow on the thumb. That'd be pretty dope, actually. That'd actually pretty badass. Yeah, like on some like rubber band shit. On some rubber band shit, that would be pretty dope.
Or he could just switch it and just learn how to pull arrows with his left, and then he can just turn his thumb into the bow.
True. Or he could pick up a gun.
But that's not Clint's MO.
Yeah, it's hard to aim with no thumb, I guess.
Yeah, all right, how would you like pull back the hammer?
Anyways, who did you think book of the week?
I go for Jessica Jones.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't anything that I read.
I was thinking
maybe Jessica.
Prosthetic. Yeah. Fuck yeah, Turbo. Like, I'm starting to think right now, like, they're doing the whole thing with Hawkeye right now where he was like, hey, memory lane, he's talking to Scarlet Witch, like, hey, remember when both of us were villains before the Avengers? Remember when I was, like, Giant Man because I didn't want to be Hawkeye anymore and I used pin particles because I was feeling inadequate? Remember when I was like, that's dumb, and I went back to being Hawkeye? So they have plans for Hawkeye in this. I just don't know what it is.
They're definitely retrying with Hawkeye because he's like part of West Coast Avengers right now. He's in that. Like, he's in a lot of books right now. So there's definitely another push for Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Clinton Barton Hawkeye.
Yeah, and it's like, he's just a good character. Like, he's from Mark Waid's run, like, back in the day. Like, what was that, like 2012 or something? Ever since then, like, Hawkeye's just been solid. He's the people's hero. So that's what I gotta say on that. You guys have any last words for the show, anything like that?
Make sure you follow us on YouTube at Long Story Short Show so you can catch up on all of our other videos. We also just did Doom Patrol episode number 2 review, who was Victor Stone, and yeah, it was bomb. So definitely watch that.
Nice. Chris, anything from you?
No, she took it right out of my mouth.
All right, nice. So we are the Long Story Short Show. This is the Comic World for You, episode 20.
Oh, yeah.
We'll catch y'all later.
Peace.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna play some motherfucking Dragon Ball Z right now.